Hi, Space Cadets. This video is about eclipses, and there are two types of eclipses. There are solar eclipses and there are lunar eclipses. And at the time I'm recording this, we're about to have a lunar eclipse, which is sort of what prompted this video. Now, you may notice that I'm not wearing my traditional presidential suit, and there's a couple reasons for that. The first being that I'm going to be doing a demonstration of what an eclipse is, and the part of the moon will be played by a pomegranate. Okay? And if I were to drop this, it could be disastrous for my suit, and we don't want that. So yeah, pomegranate. You may be thinking, why a pomegranate, King? Well, because they were all out of blood oranges at the market, of course. So, pomegranate. Another reason why I'm wearing this shirt is because it's got this nice insignia on it. This is the Apollo 11 lunar landing insignia for the Apollo 11 mission. And I just thought it'd be kind of appropriate. You know, we're talking about eclipses, which has to do with the moon. And so, yeah, thought that'd be a nice time to wear this shirt. Also, fun fact, this insignia was printed on the American $1 coin in the years 1979, 1980, and 1981. But if my understanding is accurate, I think it was only printed for circulation in 79 and 80. And then in 81, it was available in the proof sets. That's if my understanding is accurate. So a proof set looks like this. This is a 1981 proof set, and it has, you know, all these 6 coins in here, one of which being the Susan B. Anthony dollar is what it was referred to as. On the reverse side, you won't be able to see it. Perhaps I'll put a picture on the screen. It's got the insignia on the back. And this was actually the year I was born. And then they brought the lunar landing coin back once more in 1999 for one last year. And that just happens to be the year that I graduated high school. And what high school did I graduate from? Apollo High School. This school was named after the Apollo 11 mission. So it's got the insignia inside my diploma over here. It also has this nice gold embossed insignia. Perhaps I'll put a picture of that up on the screen as well. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Neat little coincidence there. So yeah, back to the eclipse. The part of the sun will be played by this oversized tennis ball looking thing. And the part of Earth will be played by the globe, because it kind of looks like Earth, right? Now, all of this is wildly off scale, right? These are not even close to the size that they're supposed to be. But we're going to use our imagination, right? If you don't have an imagination, you should get one. They are lots of fun, okay? So, yeah, we got the moon, sun, and Earth. And that's what we're dealing with today. This circle thingy will be the path of the sun, as well as the moon. I don't have 2 of these. It'd be nice if I did. I don't. But again, we'll just have to use our imagination. So the path of the sun, as from Earth's perspective, our perceived path of the sun, which is known as the ecliptic, is sort of, well, let's say it's parallel to this desk here, okay? So, and again, this is not according to scale. Okay, so the sun is much, much, much further from the Earth, especially, according to where the moon is in reference to Earth. Another fun fact, the distance from Earth to the sun, the average distance, is known as an astronomical unit, or AU. And in the periodic table, gold, the element for gold, is the reference for it is AU. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And in history, for alchemy, the symbol for gold is a circle with a little dot in the center, which is the glyph on, these calculators that I use in some of my other videos to calculate planetary position. The glyph that represents the sun is the same as the alchemical symbol for gold. So I thought that was really interesting. The moon's glyph is a little crescent moon, which is also in alchemy what they use for silver. So just a little fun fact there. So yeah, back to the eclipse. So let's say, the sun's path is parallel to this desk. Then the moon, its path is slightly skewed. I don't know to what degree exactly. You can look that up. But so let's say where my left and right hands are where the lunar path crosses the ecliptic. Okay, so my left hand would be where in this demonstration would be where the moon is crossing going northward. And then over here is where the moon would cross the ecliptic going south. Okay, so this is what is known as the north node over here, and this is known as the south node over here. This seems pretty basic, right? Pretty easy. And in the little charts, like in some of my other videos, I have these calculated charts. What represents the north node is a little horseshoe-looking thing that goes up over, sort of, like the letter N in the English alphabet. And then the south node is the same symbol, but just it goes underneath like this. It looks like a little horseshoe that goes down under, like the letter U. And that is when the moon is going under the ecliptic, okay, going downward. Okay, so, and those two calculated points, whenever you have the moon at one of those points and the sun at the other, or both the moon and the sun at that degree, if we're going by a 360-degree sphere, or around that point, then you have an eclipse. So that's how we're able to predict eclipses. Okay, it's a calculated occurrence. We can, see from patterns, consistent patterns. This is very regular occurrence, eclipses, but they're not always visible to the same area on the globe because the Earth is round. Okay, that's one of the many ways that we know that the Earth is round. You do not need to build yourself a little Acme style rocket ship and shoot yourself to smithereens. Somebody did that not too long ago, and it didn't end up very well. He obviously did not watch the Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons as a kid. Had he watched them, he might still be around. Or if he would have, paid attention to, science class, or, I remember learning about this stuff in school. Maybe he just fell asleep. I don't know. But yeah, that's poor guy. All you need is a passport, just go, take a flight to another country and experience that. Oh, look, it's a different time zone, obviously, because, the Earth is round. The sun isn't going to cover all areas of Earth at the same time. We're not on the same time. We're We're not on the same time zone all over the Earth. So, and you know, things aren't visible at the same time on one side of the Earth as the other. And so therefore, you know, whenever you do have an eclipse, lunar or solar, it's only going to be visible from certain areas, right? Okay. Anyway, so in this eclipse that we're about to be having, you know, while I'm filming this, I may not get this video out till after the eclipse. We'll see. But the moon will be on one side of Earth and the sun will be on the other. So what's happening is the Earth being in the center, the sun is, you know, it's shining all the time. It's just, that's what it does. The sun shines light and the moon reflects whatever light that is hitting hitting its surface. So what happens when you got the Earth in between the sun and the moon, it's going to block that light from hitting the lunar surface, and it'll cause a shadow. So why does the moon turn red? Well, that is because before the sun rises and after it sets, there's still visible light here on Earth. And it's these really nice kind of warm tones that create these really beautiful sunsets, right? So, and the sunrise is similar. So what's happening is, since the sun doesn't cease to shine and the Earth is blocking, you know, most of the sun's light, but some of that is still coming through and it's reflecting off of the lunar surface, and it's going to be reflecting back in the color of the sunrise and sunset all over the planet. All the sunrises and sunset it's being projected off the lunar surface. So that is why the moon is that color, and they refer to it as a blood moon. Has nothing to do with blood, okay? They could have called it the rose moon, but they decided blood. I don't know. That's what they call it. So, yeah, that's why they call it that. And then when you've got the moon on the same side as the sun, and when that's lined up with Earth, right in between the sun and Earth, then it ends up blocking the sun from Earth, in certain parts of Earth. And I think that's actually really interesting that you got something as small as the moon and something as large as the sun, and it's the distance that they are from Earth that makes it so that, you know, the moon can block out the sun. That's really interesting. It's just that perfect distance. And yeah, it's kind of cool. So that's what is known as a solar eclipse. Okay. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You know, it's not anything like bad necessarily. It's just it's just the rotation of things and how, you know, things line up, and it creates these really interesting events. And one of the things that I like to do during an eclipse, particularly a lunar eclipse, such as the one we're about to have, is I like to draw myself a bath, a salt bath, using this pyramid salt here I've mentioned in another video. And I'll mix this with some pink salt here. Oftentimes this is referred to as Himalayan salt, but it doesn't actually come from the Himalayas, you guys. This comes from Pakistan, all right? So that's why Trader Joe's just calls it pink salt, because that's what it should be called. It's not Himalayan salt, all right, you guys? So I'll do about half of this package and this. I'll mix these together with 12 drops of some, this is rose essential oil. I'll mix all those together. I use this, you can mix it in any container you want. I just happen to have this sorbetto. This is a nice raspberry sorbetto container. And, you know, it's just a good container for mixing it around. yeah, so I'll mix that up, dump it in the bath, and soak in that. That's what I do. And I listen to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, which has a track on there called Eclipse. So, yeah, that's something that I like to do. You know, you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. You know, if the eclipse is visible, maybe you want to, you know, check that out. Although this time of year, in the areas that it's going to be visible, it may be obstructed by, you know, clouds and or marine layer, depending on where you are. You know, it may be obstructed. So, you know, there's always that that potential given the time of year. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational or at least amusing in some way. Yeah, so give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'm going to go and get ready to check out the eclipse and draw myself a bath. So that's what I like to do. But yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. All right, I think he's saying it's dinner time, so I'm gonna leave you